We have all felt it, that sudden, violent rush of electricity in the middle of the night. It's the moment an idea feels so bright it could illuminate the entire world. You feel like a different person. You feel capable of moving mountains. This is motivation, a beautiful, temporary high. It is the psychological equivalent of a lightning strike. But lightning is not meant to be captured. It is meant to pass through. If you build your house on the hope of a second strike, you will live in the dark. Most people spend their lives waiting for that specific feeling to return. They think the absence of excitement is a sign that the dream is dead. But the silence that follows the spark is where the real story begins. Success isn't found in the fire. It's found in what you do when the ashes are cold. Your brain is a survival organ, not a productivity machine. It values comfort over growth and safety over progress. As soon as the initial high fades, your mind begins to negotiate. It starts to whisper about how tired you are, or how tomorrow might be a better day.
That whisper is the sound of your potential slowly leaking out. Motivation is a guest who never stays for the cleanup. Discipline is the one who shows up early and stays until the job is done. It isn't glamorous, and it certainly isn't loud. It is the quiet, boring choice to do the thing you said you'd do long after the mood that inspired you has totally disappeared. Think of your goals as a distant shore across a flat, gray ocean. Motivation is a sudden gust of wind that pushes your boat forward for a mile. It feels amazing while it lasts, but the wind is a fickle master. When the air goes still, most people simply sit and wait for the wind to return. They drift, they complain about the weather, and eventually they sink. But a disciplined soul doesn't look at the sky. They look at the oars. They pick up the weight and they pull 1 stroke, 2 strokes, over and over. The movement doesn't feel like inspiration. It feels like work.
It feels heavy, repetitive, and deeply unexciting. But the distance to the shore doesn't care how you feel. It only cares about the physical reality of the movement. We have been lied to by a culture that celebrates the grind as a high-energy montage. Real progress is not a fast-paced video with loud music. Real progress is a lonely room, a blank screen, and a clock that won't stop ticking. It is the ability to sit with your own boredom without running away. It is the psychological strength to ignore the exit sign in your mind. Your emotions are like the weather. They change without your permission. You cannot control if you feel inspired on a Tuesday morning. But you can control if you show up to the desk. When you separate your actions from your feelings, you become dangerous. You become a person who cannot be stopped by a bad mood or a lack of sleep. This is the machine state, the cold, mechanical execution of a plan. The machine doesn't ask if it's in the vibe. The machine doesn't care if the coffee is cold or the room is dark. It simply runs because it was built to run. Building that machine takes time, and it usually starts with failure. It starts with the days you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. Each time you override your lazy instincts, you add a link to your chain. At first, the chain is thin and easy to break. But after a year of showing up, that chain becomes an iron cable. It becomes an anchor that holds you steady when the world gets loud. People will look at your results and call you talented. They will say you were lucky to have so much drive. They won't see the thousands of hours you spent being bored. They won't see the mornings you worked while you were crying or tired.
They only see the finish line. They don't see the rowing. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-love. It is your current self looking out for your future self. It is saying, I will handle the pain now so you can have the peace later. Every time you skip the work, you are stealing from the person you could become. You are trading your legacy for a few minutes of temporary comfort. The spark is for the amateurs. The machine is for the masters. Stop searching for the perfect routine or the perfect morning. Stop looking for a sign that it's time to start. The sign is the fact that you are still breathing. The sign is the task sitting right in front of your face. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to see the next step, and the step after that. Motivation is about wanting to do it. Discipline is about doing it. You will never feel like doing the hard things all the time. Acceptance of that truth is your greatest psychological advantage. If you wait until you feel ready, you will be waiting until you are old. The right time is a myth created by people who are afraid to fail. In reality, you are only ever ready after you have started. The momentum follows the movement. The inspiration follows the effort. Move your hands and your mind will eventually follow. If you are stuck, lower the bar until it's impossible to fail. Write one sentence. Record one line. Edit 1 second. Just don't let the day pass without a contribution. The greatest enemy of the machine is the all or nothing mentality. If you can't run a marathon, walk a mile. If you can't walk, crawl. Just never stop moving forward. There is a deep, quiet pride that comes from doing the hard work. It is a confidence that cannot be bought and cannot be faked. It is the knowledge that you are a person of your word. When you tell yourself you will do something and you do it, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of all true greatness.
The world is full of brilliant people who are waiting for the vibe. They are sitting in the dark, waiting for the lightning to strike twice. Don't be one of them. Be the person who brings their own light. Be the person who builds their own fire. The struggle isn't a sign to stop, it's a sign that you are growing. Pain is the feeling of your old limitations breaking apart. Embrace the boredom, the repetition, and the silence. That is where the masterpiece is built. The lightning may start the journey, but the machine finishes it. Turn off the noise, put down the excuses, start rowing.